Good evening. I hope all of you are able to hear me. On behalf of Processware, I welcome you all for this fourth webinar. We had a lot of internal discussions after the last month's webinar, and we wanted to identify which is the most critical aspect of banking which has been affected due to this pandemic. I'm sure most of you are aware that the aspect of moratorium which has been given by the regulator will have a lasting impact on non-performing assets in the banking sector. Hence, we thought it might be appropriate for us to discuss about the effects of this moratorium on non-performing assets and also look at how banks will be able to address this issue. So many of you might have already read, heard from various media about this moratorium. As you know, the moratorium ends on August 31st, which is just a couple of days away. But unfortunately, COVID is still existing in the country. So we as a country have not been able to come out of the pandemic.
Hello, sir. Sorry for the interruption.
Right?
Your voice is not so audible, sir.
Are you able to hear me now?
It's too low.
Can you hear me now?
Yeah. Now okay, sir.
Okay. Sorry about that. So as I was mentioning that the moratorium is ending on August 31st, which is just a couple of days away. And most of the customers are still experiencing the pandemic. So their inability to repay the loans continues. But Reserve Bank of India has decided that they will not be extending the moratorium anymore. So we thought it is better for all of us to discuss the effects of this moratorium and also look at what might happen by March 2021. Because this has been an eventful year, probably in the most negative aspect of it. So the next 40 minutes, I would like to discuss the possible effects on cooperative institutions and also answer some of your questions later after the presentation. So what I would like to cover is an introduction, the current status, where we are, some of the projections which people have done based on their own data. What can we do? What can cooperative banks do, knowing that this is a widespread problem across the country? How technology can help in addressing this problem? Some of the collection efforts which might be unique to cooperative sector, but which needs to be done this financial year. So focus on growth in terms of what needs to be done in order to propel the growth of cooperative institutions, and some concluding remarks. So let me just start off with the introduction. As I said before, the banking sector has been severely affected. It is very difficult for anybody to run a bank when borrowers do not pay back the amounts as scheduled for a long period of 6 months. Indeed, this period from March to August has been such a period which will go down in the history books as one of the unique period where the regulator themselves have offered a moratorium period for all the borrowers. The regulator also mentioned that it is preferable for banks to get a consent from their customers whether they want to opt for a moratorium or not. This is extremely important because most of the customers do not understand the word moratorium, and several of them feel that this means a waiver of loan. And as you know, definitely that is not the intended result of this. Even during the moratorium period, the interest on such loans will continue to accrue, and the customer needs to pay back after the completion of the moratorium period. So the loan moratorium will act as a catalyst to even greater buildup of credit losses. What I have shown here is on the right side, you see the several sectors of financial institutions, private banks at the top, then you have nationalized banks, the new category of banks, which are small finance banks, and cooperative banks. And the percentages, what I have mentioned there, are the average percent of number of borrowers who have opted for the moratorium. So what it means is, on the average in private sector banks, whether it is ICICI or HDFC, only 30% of the customers opted for a moratorium, and 70% of the customers made regular payments as they used to do. In nationalized banks, the average is around 50%. And in small finance banks, it is around 65%. And unfortunately, in cooperative banks, it's around 80% on the average. You might ask why this happened. There are two reasons to it. One is, I'll just give you a small example. State Bank of India, the largest bank in the country, formed a team of 1,800 people to call each of the borrower and educate them what this moratorium means to them, and also make them understand that the interest keeps accruing on their accounts even during the pandemic. And that effort paid off very well for State Bank of India, because only 23% of their retail borrowers opted for moratorium, whereas the other 77%, which are the majority of them, made regular payments to their loan accounts. But in cooperative sector, many of the banks did not put in the effort to communicate with each of the borrower what this moratorium means to them, the effect of that on their accounts, the accrual of interest during this period, and advise them that if they have the ability to make the regular EMI payments towards their loans, they should make those payments. And even if they were hesitant to walk into the banks could have arranged that amount to be picked up from the customer's house in order to service their loan accounts. So in the absence of such effort, we are seeing today almost 80% of the loans in cooperative sector are under the moratorium. That means on the average, only 20% of the borrowers made their regular payments towards the loan accounts. So that has happened today. None of us can wind the clock back. But today, as I said, we are almost at the end of the moratorium period. And we are looking at a large percentage of borrowers who have opted for moratorium in cooperative sector. So this is, I just wanted to share some of the thoughts. On the right side, I have put one of the statement made by Raghuram Rajan, who was the former governor of Reserve Bank of India, who said the levels of NPA will be unprecedented 6 months from now. That means we are looking at March 2021, where the NPA levels will be historically high. Even Reserve Bank of India found out that the banks will be facing a large scale NPA due to this moratorium. So hence, as you might all have heard, a couple of weeks ago, Reserve Bank of India allowed restructuring of these loans in order to ensure that these accounts will not fall into non-performing bucket. So there are some conditions attached to it, but today, all of you, the bankers, have a flexibility to restructure existing loans, which will help the borrower make their payments subsequent to the end of moratorium period, and also ensure that those accounts will not fall into a non-performing asset classification. So some of the projections, I'm sure most of you might have looked at this, is on the left-hand side, I have made a pictorial representation of what the stress will be on the financial sector. And on the right side, I have a statement made by Reserve Bank of India, which said the regulatory dispensations that the pandemic has necessitated, that means in terms of moratoriums, may have implications for the financial health of the banks going forward. So this is a statement by the regulator themselves. So that shows that there should be sufficient focus and attention paid by all of you as bankers on NPAs for the rest of the financial year. So on the left-hand side on the graphics, if you look at it, as of March 2020, which was the financial year ending March 31st, 2020, public sector banks on the average had NPAs at 11.3%. And the projections people have done based on the data available to them as of today, due to this moratorium, is around 16.3%. So that shows even the nationalized banks will face a 50% increase in NPAs compared to March 2020 in March 2021. So in a single year, the NPAs will go up by 50%. And this is the estimate done by the regulator themselves, based on the data available to them. Some of the private banks will also see an 100% increase in their NPAs. As of March 2020, they had 4.2%, and it is projected to go to 8.7% as of 2021. So if you look at that, the one component in the picture which is missing is the cooperative banks.
Video mute madin sir.
If you look at cooperative banks, they were already facing acute pressure on NPAs as of March 2020. And due to this pandemic, even if you take the same percentage what the nationalized banks will face, there will be an increase of 50 to 60% in non-performing assets in most of your organizations. And that is quite alarming. I don't want to mention many financial institutions, but I know few of the banks were already at 20% gross NPAs as of March 2020. And if you project that for March 2021, they'll be close to 30 to 35% NPA. And that will become untenable, in the sense it is very difficult for the financial institution to survive if NPA levels goes to those numbers, 30 or 35%. That means 1 in 3 loans are bad. And that will be extremely difficult for cooperative banks to sustain for 2 reasons. Bulk of you are already sitting on very low share capital. In case of private banks or nationalized banks, you might have seen in the last 2 months, banks belonging to both the sectors, both private sector and nationalized sector, have increased their capital by issuing various forms of bonds and follow-up offers on their stocks and raised their capital adequacy ratios significantly, because they all knew that in order for them to make sufficient provision for these high levels of NPAs, they need the capital to survive. But in cooperative sector, it is very difficult to increase the capital structure, given that the only recognizable mode of capital being share capital, and it is difficult for any organization to increase share capital substantially during this year. So hence, you will face pressure on both the sides. One, the increasing level of non-performing assets due to the moratorium. The second one, the pressure on the capital itself for you to make sufficient provisions in case if you are unable to handle this situation. I think that will give you a fairly good idea of the importance needed to be given to non-performing assets during this financial year.
Urban banks open.
So if you look at the economy in general, in the last 5 months, around 41 lakh youth lost jobs in the country, right? As a banker, every banker would like to have a young customer. I would rather have a customer who is 30 years old rather than a customer who is 60 years old, because the person 30 years old will tend to borrow money from me, from the bank, and will be able to repay for the next 20, 25 years of his working life. But what has happened here is, both in the formal and the informal sector of employment in the country, there has been a large scale loss of jobs. 41 lakh is a huge number for the country. And many have estimated that our unemployment rate will climb to close to 15% during this financial year.
So why is not coming, sir?
Are you able to hear now? Hello?
It's audible.
Yeah. So as you know, many more layoffs are going to come in the next few months. So this will increase the unemployment rate in the country, and that will affect the banking sector. So that is on part of the retail sector. Let us look at the small and medium scale enterprises. Government of India did take sufficient steps to provide cash flow to these medium and small scale enterprises, because they form the backbone of the economy. India is a large country with 63 million MSMEs, And some of you have exposure to this sector. Exposure means you might have provided loans to these customers. And most of the MSMEs today are suffering due to the pandemic. They are unable to get enough raw materials or labor, or the demand for their products have gone down significantly. So in spite of various reasons, these MSMEs are unable to make good on the repayment of loan which they might have borrowed from financial institutions. So from the economy and the jobs perspective, though the moratorium is ending in the next couple of days, the situation does not show significant improvement for cooperative sector. So that's enough about the definition of the problem. The reason why I wanted to spend some time on that was to impress upon you, all the bankers, that this problem is quite serious and it should be addressed properly. So cooperative banks should start analyzing their loan portfolio. So having said that is the problem of increasing NPAs, banks should start analyzing their loan portfolio. Because many times we have faced this situation where many bankers come to us in the month of February or March and say that their non-performing assets are extremely high and something needs to be done. And we feel addressing this problem in February or March of a financial year is too late and too little. And there are very limited options if you are so close to the financial year ending. That is one of the primary reasons we decided that we will have this webinar now when the moratorium is ending, because most of you will get a good 6 months of time to address this problem. So the second item I have mentioned there, establish a team of personnel to communicate with borrowers. You know, I have been having discussions with many bankers during the pandemic. The number of transactions which are happening in the branch has dropped significantly. In many cases, it is close to 50% what it was before the pandemic. So you had a lot of staff at your disposal. So it is critical now that you deploy those staff members to ensure that each borrower gets a communication from your side. When I say communication, it can be an SMS message, it can be a telephone call, it can be an email, whatever suits you. But there should be constant communication to address the issue of their particular loan account with your bank. And measure the progress of the effort methodically. Because many times when I tell bankers that this should be done, they will say, okay, we have asked somebody to do this, but they have no clue how it has been done, how many borrowers have been contacted, what has been the result of that effort. So that is the reason I felt it is critical for you to measure the progress of the effort methodically. And I put the next line item, treat this activity as the highest priority. Because I fear that some of your institutions, some of the banks might land up in a situation by March 2021 where the NPAs are extremely high and the whole portfolio will be at risk. The bank survival itself will be a large question mark. So before you reach that point, it is critical for all of you to assign this initiative the highest priority the general managers or the CEOs of the banks should give sufficient attention to this activity. Just because the regulator has offered restructuring loans as an option, I suggest all of you to treat this option as a last option, because restructuring means loss of revenue for the bank, because people would like to extend their loans by another 2 years, 3 years based on their need. And how can you do this? How can you start communicating these accounts? How do you interact with borrowers? And I felt technology can assist you in addressing this issue, because some of you have thousands of borrowers and you would like to know what set of borrowers are of high risk compared to others, and give attention to the high risk borrowers. I'm sure most of you are already aware that Reserve Bank of India had suggested to you to segment the customers and classify them as low risk and high risk. And many of you might have done it. So it is critical to address the high risk customers on a priority basis. And the large one I said is the increase the credit flow. There are two ways NPS can be handled. One, efficient recovery in terms of making sure your recovery is extreme. The second one is to increase the credit flow itself, that is by giving new loans. So what is the technology available to you? I think most of you might have heard the term artificial intelligence, right? Artificial intelligence is a science where it looks at the data, understands the patterns of the behavior of each of the borrower with the financial institution, and tries to estimate which of the borrower might default in the coming days or in the coming months. We felt that this technology is extremely suitable to solve this problem. I think most of you might have also heard the term deep learning. So what does deep learning means? That means the technology will start learning by itself as the time goes by, as more and more cases get addressed by the tool itself. So using these tools, that is artificial intelligence and deep learning, we have developed a tool which allows you to address this problem, segment the customer into high risk and low risk, so that your efforts will be much more channelized and effective. So the tool which we have built allows the system to analyze the existing borrowers and also analyze their pattern of behavior with your institution so far. And then address those accounts methodically. So, as I mentioned, we have developed this tool which analyzes all these customer accounts and then provides the list of accounts which are segregated into high risk and low risk. If you see on the top of the form, we have given category where the user can select a low risk or a high risk category, and the system will display all the accounts under that category. And the person who is making the call to each of these borrowers, these are the set of borrowers which the system has estimated or system has analyzed or system is predicting that the chances of these accounts becoming non-performing by March 2021 is significantly high. One word of caution, this is a tool, right? So it does not mean what the tool predicts will happen, but it gives you a guidance in terms of where you need to spend your efforts in making recoveries from the borrowers. So once you choose the category of risk, the system displays all those accounts under that category. You can choose the specific account and click on the select button. And once you click on the select button on the right hand side, you will get all the account information in terms of the customer's name, number of installments pending, so on and so forth. So what we are suggesting here is to dedicate 1 or 2 people in your organization who will use this tool and keep making phone calls for each of these borrowers on a regular basis. And during the call, as you know, India is a country full of reasons. We are so innovative in coming up with a set of reasons, which I think no other country can give. So whenever you make a call to the borrower, borrower will come back with some reason on why they are unable to make the payment. So that reason can be recorded here. In case if the borrower mentions that I would like to make the payment next week, next month, or call me later this month, depending on what the response is from the borrower, the user can enter those details on the right hand side. You see a box for payment date, where if the customer says, I would like to make the payment on such and such a date, you can record there. So that the system itself will provide you an alert on that day that the borrower committed to make the payment today. Why don't you remind them? Or Banksoft itself can send an SMS message to the borrower in order to ensure that the recoveries are done or the payments are coming in. Right? On the other hand, if the borrower says it is a next call to be done on next week, then the caller can record that date and the system will provide an alert to call that person on that specific date. I just want to mention to you that we have put in a lot of effort to build this model using neural networks and artificial intelligence to help you, the bankers, address this pandemic. This is a unique situation. As I mentioned at the start of our call, that no banks can work in a healthy situation if none of the borrowers are making payments for a long period of 6 months. Having said that, that incident has occurred. So it is critical that all of you put in the efforts to ensure that your own financial institutions will not run into rough weather by March 2021. I just wanted this as a suggestion from our side. I know all of you are much more experienced bankers. You will know a lot more methods to interact with borrowers and ensure the recoveries happen on a timely manner. But we felt that this tool might help you in isolating the set of borrowers who requires your attention or focus in order to ensure those accounts will remain as standard accounts even on March 2021. So the next thing, as I mentioned earlier, one is to ensure that you have healthy recoveries from the existing borrowers. The second way to manage this NPAs or to ensure that you lend more money to new customers. So due to the pandemic, several economic activities were stopped. This is evident from a slow growth of credit. When we analyzed, most of the cooperative banks saw only a 6 to 8% average credit growth in the last 5 months. That is from April to August. The growth in credit have been in single digits for most of the banks. There are some banks who have done well, where it has been around 14 to 15%, but bulk of the cooperative banks have done around 7 to 8% on the average credit growth. That means the growth in the credit have also slowed down significantly. Even for nationalized bank, the nationalized bank credit growth in the last 5 months have been close to 5%, which is historically low. In spite of the government schemes to fund small and medium scale enterprises, the growth rates have not increased significantly even for nationalized banks. Several estimates done today shows that there is a large pent-up demand for credit. That means there's a set of borrowers who are actively looking for credit post-COVID period to restart their businesses, to restart their activities, or to go ahead and purchase their house or vehicle. Irrespective of the need, many economists have estimated that there is a large, significant pent-up demand in the market. And cooperative banks should make their concerted efforts to increase their credit portfolio. I know most of you might feel bad that I keep repeating this, but I strongly feel during this financial year, sales and marketing efforts are an absolute necessity for cooperative banks. Handling NPA requires parallel execution of two tasks, and it is not sequential. One is to constantly recover from existing borrowers using the tool what I showed a while ago. The second is to increase your exposure to credit portfolio. That means bring in new borrowers and give loans to increase your credit portfolio. If your NPA levels are going up by 50% and if your credit is growing by 5%, you yourself will know where the bank will be in March 2021. Unfortunately, as a country, our GDP was already shrinking before the pandemic. The March 31st GDP growth rate for the last quarter was a dismal 3.9%. And people are predicting this year the GDP will go into negative growth. So GDP will suffer -4 to -7% as a country. So given that situation, the reason I would like to share this information with you and also request all of you to put efforts on this is the back end of this financial year, that is from October to March, all of you should focus on this aspect to ensure your own financial institutions will not run into trouble. As I mentioned earlier, if you realize that March 1st, 2021, that your bank is facing a large NPA, there will be no magic solutions available to bring it back. So the 6 months of effort is absolutely required to make sure that you are within the healthy range of NPAs. And based on the context where you are in today, I would like all of you to set your own goals in making that NPA target should be established for March 2021. And all the staff members should focus their efforts in ensuring that target is met. So I'm sure all the general managers and CEOs who are with us today will take steps to establish this target and also form a team of members who will start calling these borrowers on a daily basis, recording each of these conversations, following up with the payments, and also make efforts on the sales and marketing side in order to increase the number of customers, increase the number of loan accounts which have been done in your portfolio. So in conclusion, as I mentioned, cooperative banks need to assess the impact on their portfolio. Each one of you are unique because your situations are different. As I mentioned earlier, some of you already had NPA levels in 2 digits when the financial year started, that is March 31st, 2020. And some of you might be in a healthy range below 5% as of March 2020. So each of you will have a different aspect to focus on depending on your situation. But the goal should be that all existing borrowers should be contacted by your staff members. The contact should happen. Even though you might feel it is difficult, as I mentioned earlier, if State Bank of India can contact all their borrowers, being one of the largest bank, I am 100% sure all of you cooperative institutions can communicate with your borrowers, talk to them, identify accounts where you feel that the borrower is unable to make the payment. As I mentioned, some of the sectors have been affected to a large extent compared to others. For example, if you take the restaurant or the hospitality sector, if you take the construction industry, if you take the informal employment sector, all of these have been affected significantly, right? So those sectors, if you feel by December 2020 that the borrowers are unable to make those payments, then you should start looking at restructuring those loans so that by March 2021, your NPA comes back to healthy levels. So adopt a disciplinary approach. This is very critical. That is the reason I mentioned earlier that you should measure the progress of your efforts. If you put 2 people to make these calls, you should ask them at the end of each day how many calls they made, what is the response, how much money are they able to recover. So all these things needs to be maintained and followed up on a daily basis in order to ensure all of your staff members understand the importance of this aspect and ensure that the institution comes back to a healthy situation. You might have seen already a couple of large scale collapses in cooperative sector, one even in Karnataka. So I do not want any one of you to reach that situation. That was one of the primary reasons driving us to talk about this topic during this month's webinar. I hope I have conveyed the message clearly to you, and I feel you also agree with me that this requires highest priority in your activities on a daily basis. So now I would like to open up for any of your questions. If I have communicated something wrong, I'm sorry for that. As I mentioned earlier, you are much more experienced than me. So if something has been communicated which is not in tune with your operations, I apologize for the same. So if you have any questions, this is the right time for us to discuss.
Excuse sir.
Go ahead, Vignesh.
See, there are two items. One is you're talking about the data range. Hello?
What range?
Data range you are talking for the artificial intelligence analysis.
Correct, correct.
So I feel it should be before COVID and after COVID, both should be clubbed together and we come to the average to analyze the low and high risk customers.
Absolutely. That is the same thing we have done. What we have done is we have gone 6 months back, that is starting from October of 2019 till March to 2020. That 6 months window has been taken into account for analysis, and then the subsequent behavior of the customer post March 2020.
Sorry, sir, I'm not aware of this data range. That's why I want to.
Absolutely, no
Second-
issue. No issue. Right.
Second point will be the reschedule of accounts.
Correct.
If we reschedule now, our income will be postponed.
That is right. That is the reason I
Yeah.
said.
Yes, if we don't reschedule these accounts, but we'll be losing our income.
That is right. As I said,
Logically,
restructuring should be considered as a last option because,
uh,
as I mentioned, some of the sectors have not come out of the pandemic yet. Though the moratorium is ending,
uh,
even today, people who are working in public transport, that means, people who are working for transport services, whether it is bus companies, metro, none of them are operational. So they are not
Right.
able to get their regular monthly income. So they
even
may,
retail sector is not opened up that much, sir.
that is right. So that is the reason what I suggest is,
Uh,
if you do these efforts for the next 3 months, that is September, October, and November, you can take stock of the situation in December, saying
Absolutely
that
right.
how many people are, in spite of your efforts, are unable to make repayments towards their loans. Then you should shortlist those accounts, examine critically, and see whether they are the right candidates for restructuring, even though it might be a loss of revenue for the bank. But it is often better to restructure in this quarter, that is the quarter from October to December, rather than trying to restructure in Jan to March quarter, because as you know, most of the auditors do not like restructuring of accounts during the last quarter of the financial year. That is the reason I feel the effort needs to be started from September 1st, which is next week, for recoveries. And December, you should internally look at the short list of accounts where you are forced to restructure because you have no other option left. And in those cases, you need to understand the impact of that restructuring on your income and also on your NPA levels. Any other question? Even though you don't have any questions, you can express your opinion. Did you find this useful? Did you find this not interesting? Or does this apply to your banks? It doesn't apply to your banks?
excuse me, sir. Sir Vignesh here.
Yeah, tell me, Vignesh.
So what can be the forecast of the micro's next future plans? What we can focus on now?
The focus is on, as you rightly said, especially the microfinance operations. Microfinance operations have been affected to a large extent because bulk of your customers are in informal sector and the retail sector and the hospitality. Retail and hospitality, both the sectors are affected to a large extent. So the collections will be difficult. But some of the sectors, one of the bright sectors which many of the economists have been forecasting, at least this year for the country, has been the agriculture sector because of good level of monsoon rains which we have received so far during this year. And they feel that might be one of the sector which is least affected by COVID. And some of the other sectors, for example, in terms of trading, will see a faster rebound in the sense like, once we are already in lockdown 4.0, so several relaxations have been provided in this lockdown. So many of these sectors will see a fast rebound and see in the next 2 to 3 months the activity levels coming back to where it was before March 2020. So if you segment these sectors and identify the sectors which are least affected and address the needs of those sectors, as I said, there is still a large pent-up demand for credit. So
new customer we can tap for.
Absolutely. So that is one of the ways for you to look at increasing your credit portfolio.
Thank you.
So what I have done is just to get a feedback from all of you. We have just constructed a poll which might be appearing on your screens now. And we are just trying to understand your views on some of the things which we discussed today. My request is if you can vote on those questions, it will be helpful. And it just takes less than a minute for you to vote on those. Are you able to see the polls?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Finish.
Anyway, one of the things I would like to express at this point of time, we have around 30% of the people who have answered the polls. And I'm actually happy to see that 40% of those have said that moratorium will have very marginal effect on their NPAs. So that means they are the people who have been able to convince the customers to repay promptly during this pandemic. And their credit portfolio is least affected by this moratorium. Pardon me? ಹಾ ಹೇಳಿ ಸರ್. ಅದೇ ನಾನು ಆ ಟಾಪಿಕ್ಸ್ ಹಾಕಿರೋದು ಯಾತಕ್ಕೆ ಅಂದ್ರೆ ನೆಕ್ಸ್ಟ್ ಮಂತ್ ವೆಬಿನಾರ್ಗೆ ಯಾವ ಟಾಪಿಕ್ ನಿಮ್ಗೆ ಇಂಟ್ರೆಸ್ಟ್ ಇರುತ್ತೆ ಆ ಟಾಪಿಕ್ ತಗೊಂಡು ಮಾತಾಡೋಣ ಅಂತ. ಈಗ ನೀವು ಹೇಳ್ದಂಗೆನೆ CKYCಗೆ 60% of the people have expressed that they would like to have a session on CKYC. So definitely we will schedule one CKYC session for next month's webinar, which will allow you to comply with regulations.
Sir, what is CKYC, sir?
CKYC is Central Know Your Customers anta madidare. Andre Government of India has started this effort that once a KYC has been registered in the database, andre ನಾನು ಒಂದು ಬ್ಯಾಂಕ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಅಕೌಂಟ್ ಓಪನ್ ಮಾಡುವಾಗ ನನ್ನ KYC ಡೀಟೇಲ್ಸ್ ಕೊಟ್ಟಿದ್ರೆ ಅದು ಡೇಟಾಬೇಸ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಇರುತ್ತೆ. ಸೊ ನಾನು ಅದೇ ಡೇಟಾ ಉಪಯೋಗಿಸಿ ನಾವು ಬೇರೆ ಎಲ್ಲಿ ಬೇಕಾದ್ರೂ ನಾನು ಅಕೌಂಟ್ ಓಪನ್ ಮಾಡ್ಬೋದು. ಮತ್ತೆ KYC ಡಾಕ್ಯುಮೆಂಟ್ಸ್ ಕೊಡೋ ಗೋಜಿಲ್ಲ. ಅದೊಂದು ಇದು. ಇನ್ನೊಂದೇನಂದ್ರೆ ಅಂದ್ರೆ there will be a unique identification for the customer across the country. CKYC li ಈಗ ನಿಮ್ಮ ಇನ್ಫಾರ್ಮೇಶನ್ CKYC ಗೆ ಅಪ್ಲೋಡ್ ಮಾಡಿದಾಗ CKYC system will generate a unique ID or unique number for you. A number itkonಡ್ರೆ you will be able to go to any other financial institutions or elsewhere wherever KYC is regulated. Using that number you will be able to start your activities with that organization.
Sir, Credit Corp Society access ಮಾಡಬಹುದಾ ಅದನ್ನ?
ಕ್ರೆಡಿಟ್ ಕೋಆಪರೇಟಿವ್ ಸೊಸೈಟೀಸ್ಗೂ ಆಕ್ಸೆಸ್ ಕೊಟ್ಟಿದ್ದಾರೆ. ಅದಕ್ಕೆ ಮೆಂಬರ್ಶಿಪ್ ಏನೋ ತಗೋಬೇಕು ಅನ್ಸುತ್ತೆ CKYC. ಅದು ಪ್ರೊಸೆಸ್ ನಂಗೆ ಕರೆಕ್ಟ್ ಆಗಿ ಜ್ಞಾಪಕ ಇಲ್ಲ. ಬಟ್ ವಿ ಕ್ಯಾನ್ ಟೆಲ್ ಯು, ಐ ಮೀನ್ ಐ ಕ್ಯಾನ್ ಟಾಕ್ ಟು ಸಮ್ ಪೀಪಲ್ ಅಂಡ್ ಗೆಟ್ ಯು ದ ಪ್ರೊಸೆಸ್. ಹಲೋ, ಹೇಳಿ ಸರ್.
ಟೆಸ್ಟ್ ಬೆಡ್ಗೆಲ್ಲ ಡಾಟಾಸ್ ಎಲ್ಲ ಕೊಟ್ಟಿದ್ದೀವಿ ಸರ್. ಈಗ
ಏನು
ಟೆಸ್ಟ್ ಬೆಡ್ ಓಕೆ ಮಾಡ್ಕೊಡ್ಬೇಕಾಗಿ?
ಹಾ, ಟೆಸ್ಟ್ ಬೆಡ್ಗೆ ಓಕೆ. ಹಾ, ಟೆಸ್ಟ್ ಅದೇ CKYC ನವರು ಫಸ್ಟ್ ಟೆಸ್ಟ್ ಬೆಡ್, ಆ ಟೆಸ್ಟ್ ಬೆಡ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ನೀವು ಅಪ್ಲೋಡ್ ಮಾಡಿದಾಗ ಡೇಟಾ, they will verify whether that format of data and the contents of it is correct or not. Based on that they will communicate to you. After that we will be able to upload all the other rest of the data. ಹಾ, ಹಂಗಾರೆ ಅದೇ ಡೇಟಾ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಏನೋ ಪ್ರಾಬ್ಲಮ್ ಇರುತ್ತೆ ಅನ್ಸುತ್ತೆ. ಅದು ಕಳಿಸಿ ನಮ್ಮ ಆಫೀಸ್ಗೆ, ನೋಡ್ತಾರೆ ಅದೇನು ಎರರ್ ಮೆಸೇಜ್ ಅಂತ. ಅದು ಏನಾಗುತ್ತೆ ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಅದರಲ್ಲಿ ದೇ ಆರ್ ಎಕ್ಸ್ಪೆಕ್ಟಿಂಗ್ ಡೇಟಾ ಟು ಬಿ ಅಕ್ಯುರೇಟ್. ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಈಗ ಮೊಬೈಲ್ ನಂಬರ್ ಎಲ್ಲಾರ್ದು ಇರಬೇಕು, ಹೌಸ್ ಅಡ್ರೆಸ್ ಸರಿಯಾಗಿರ್ಬೇಕು, ಡೇಟ್ ಆಫ್ ಬರ್ತ್ ಸರಿಯಾಗಿರ್ಬೇಕು, ಆ ಥರದ್ದೆಲ್ಲ ಇದೆ. ಹಲೋ, ಹೇಳಿ ಸರ್.
Sir, SEBI has started a program for the credit insurance, credit guarantee.
Right.
But in that UCBs have been included, they told. But till now there is no circular or guidelines came to our any online upload also not happened till now.
That is correct. The circular has not yet come in. So SIDBI is waiting for that circular as of last week when I spoke to them. Because they are also awaiting inclusion of UCBs into the circular. So as I said, as of last week, they have not received anything, and hence they are unable to extend that facility to UCBs.
Hello, sir.
Yeah, tell me, sir.
ಈಗ ನೀವು ಹೇಳ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದೀವಿ ಆಲ್ ಎಕ್ಸಿಸ್ಟಿಂಗ್ ಬಾರೋಯರ್ಸ್ ಶುಡ್ ಬಿ ಕಾಂಟ್ಯಾಕ್ಟೆಡ್ ಟು NU ಮ್ಯಾಕ್ಸಿಮಮ್ ರಿಕವರಿ ಇನ್ ದಿ ನೆಕ್ಸ್ಟ್ 6 months ಅಂತ ಹೇಳ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದೀವಿ. ಈಗ ನಾವು ಈಗಾಗಲೇ ನಾವು ಎಲ್ಲ ಬಾರೋಯರ್ಸ್, ಎಕ್ಸಿಸ್ಟಿಂಗ್ ಬಾರೋಯರ್ಸ್ ನ ಕಾಂಟ್ಯಾಕ್ಟ್ ಮಾಡಿ ನಾವು ರೀಪೇಮೆಂಟ್ ಮಾಡ್ಲಿಕ್ಕೆ ಕೇಳ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದೀವಿ.
ವೆರಿ ಗುಡ್ ಸರ್, ವೆರಿ ಗುಡ್.
ಕೇಳ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದೀವಿ. ಈಗ ಅವೆಲ್ಲ COVID-19 ಇವರಿಂದ ಬಿಸ್ನೆಸ್ ಇಂಪ್ರೂವ್ ಆಗಿಲ್ಲ ಆ ತರ ಹೇಳ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದಾರೆ.
ಕರೆಕ್ಟ್, ಅದು ಹೇಳ್ತಾರೆ ಸರ್. ಅದೇನಾಗುತ್ತೆ ಅಂದ್ರೆ August 31st ಆದ್ಮೇಲೆ ನಿಮ್ಗೆ ಏನು ಕವರ್ ಇಲ್ಲ, ಅಂದ್ರೆ ರೆಗ್ಯುಲೇಟರಿ ಆಸ್ಪೆಕ್ಟ್ ಇಂದ ನಿಮ್ಗೆ ಏನು ಕವರ್ ಸಿಗಲ್ಲ ಆಗ. ಸೊ ಈಗ ಅವರು 2-3 ತಿಂಗಳು ಪೇಮೆಂಟ್ ಮಾಡದೆ ಹೋದ್ರೆ ಡಿಸೆಂಬರ್ಗೆನೆ ಅದು NPA ಆಗ್ಬಿಡತ್ತೆ
ಆಗುತ್ತೆ.
ಸೊ ಅದಕ್ಕೇನೆ ನೀವು ಅವ್ರಿಗೆ ಹೇಳ್ಬೇಕು, ಕರೆಕ್ಟು ಎಲ್ಲಾರ್ಗು ಅಫೆಕ್ಟ್ ಆಗಿದೆ ಇದು, ಬಟ್ ನೀವು ಇವಾಗ 10 ರೂಪಾಯಿ ಕಟ್ತಾ ಇದ್ರೆ ಅಟ್ಲೀಸ್ಟ್ ನೀವು ಇವಾಗ 5 ರೂಪಾಯಿ ಕಟ್ಬೇಕು ಅಥವಾ 6 ರೂಪಾಯಿ ಕಟ್ಬೇಕು ಅಂತ ಏನಾರ ಒಂದು ಪಾರ್ಟ್ ರಿಕವರಿ ಏನಾರ ಮಾಡ್ಕೋಬೇಕಾಗತ್ತೆ. ಯಾಕೆಂದ್ರೆ ಇಲ್ಲದೆ ಹೋದ್ರೆ ಒಟ್ಟಿಗೆ ಕಸ್ಟಮರ್ ಕಟ್ಟೋದು ಕಷ್ಟ. ಆಮೇಲೆ ಕಸ್ಟಮರ್ಗೆ ಅರ್ಥ ಆಗ್ಬೇಕು, ಈ 6 ತಿಂಗಳು ಇಂಟ್ರೆಸ್ಟ್ ಅಂತೂ ಅಕ್ರೂ ಆಗ್ತಾನೆ ಇದೆ. ಸೊ ಇದು ಇಂಟ್ರೆಸ್ಟ್ ಎಷ್ಟೊಂದು ಕಸ್ಟಮರ್ಸ್ ಅರ್ಥ ಮಾಡ್ಕೊಂಡಿರೋದು ಏನಂದ್ರೆ ಇದು ಲೋನ್ ವೇವರು, ವಾಪಸ್ ಬ್ಯಾಂಕ್ ದುಡ್ಡು ಕೊಡೋ ಗೊಜೆ ಇಲ್ಲ ಅಥವಾ ಇಂಟ್ರೆಸ್ಟ್ ಚಾರ್ಜ್ ಆಗಲ್ಲ ಅಂತ ಅನ್ಕೊಂಡಿದ್ದಾರೆ. ಈಗ ನೀವು ಸೆಪ್ಟೆಂಬರ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಅವ್ರಿಗೆಲ್ರಿಗೂ ಹೇಳಿದ್ರೆ ಈಗ 6 ತಿಂಗಳದ್ದು ಇಷ್ಟು ಇಂಟ್ರೆಸ್ಟ್ ಆಯ್ತು ಅಂತ ಹೇಳಿದ್ರೆ ಅದನ್ನ ಕೇಳ್ಬಿಟ್ಟೆ ಎಷ್ಟೋ ಜನಕ್ಕೆ ಶಾಕ್ ಆಗತ್ತೆ. ಸೊ ಅದರಿಂದ ವಿ ನೀಡ್ ಟು ಬಿ ಇನ್ನೋವೇಟಿವ್. ಅಂದ್ರೆ ನಾನು ಹೇಳಿದ್ನಲ್ಲ, ದಿಸ್ ಇಸ್ ದ ಫಸ್ಟ್ ಟೈಮ್ ಎ ಸಿಚುವೇಶನ್ ಲೈಕ್ ದಿಸ್ ಹ್ಯಾಸ್ ಅಕರ್ಡ್ ಅಕ್ರಾಸ್ ದ ವರ್ಲ್ಡ್. ಸೊ ನಾವ್ ಏನಾರ ಮಾಡಿ ಇಲ್ದ ವಿ ನೀಡ್ ಟು ಎನ್ಶೋರ್ ದಟ್ ದ ರಿಸರ್ವ್ ಬ್ಯಾಂಕ್ ಆಫ್ ಇಂಡಿಯಾ ವಿಲ್ ಗಿವ್ ಯು ಲಾರ್ಜ್ ಸ್ಕೇಲ್ dilution of regulations for the audit which they will do for March 31st, 2021. ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಮಾರ್ಚ್ 31st, 2021 ಬಂದಾಗ NPA ಲೆವೆಲ್ಸ್ 20% ಇದ್ರೂ ನಾವು ನಿಮ್ನ ಗ್ರೇಡ್ ಬಿ ಅಂತ ಮಾಡಲ್ಲ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳ್ಬೇಕು ಅವರು. ಅವ್ರು ಹೇಳದೆ ಹೋದ ಪಕ್ಷದಲ್ಲಿ ಈಗಿರೋ ಸ್ಟ್ಯಾಂಡರ್ಡ್ಸ್ ಪ್ರಕಾರ ಹೋದ್ರೆ ನಮ್ಮ ಅನಾಲಿಸಿಸ್ ಪ್ರಕಾರ ಬಲ್ಕ್ ಆಫ್ ದ ಕೋಆಪರೇಟಿವ್ ಬ್ಯಾಂಕ್ಸ್ ವಿಲ್ ಸ್ಲಿಪ್ ಇನ್ ಟು ಗ್ರೇಡ್ ಬಿ. ಅವಾಗ ತುಂಬಾ ಕಷ್ಟ ಆಗತ್ತೆ ಅಂತ ಅದಕ್ಕೋಸ್ಕರ we said we will develop this tool so that you will constantly monitor this recovery over the next 3 months. ಈಗ ಸೆಪ್ಟೆಂಬರ್, ಅಕ್ಟೋಬರ್, ನವೆಂಬರ್ 3 ತಿಂಗಳು. ಯಾಕಂದ್ರೆ ಸೆಪ್ಟೆಂಬರ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ನಾನು ಬಾರೋಯರ್ನ ಕರೆದಾಗ ಅವರು ಮಾರಟೋರಿಯಂ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳೋ ಪರಿಸ್ಥಿತಿ ಬರಲ್ಲ, ಯಾಕಂದ್ರೆ ಮಾರಟೋರಿಯಂ ಆಗೋಗಿರುತ್ತೆ. ಆದ್ರೆ ಅವ್ರುಗಳು ಹೇಳ್ತಾರೆ ಈಗ ಇದರಿಂದ ನಮ್ ಬಿಸ್ನೆಸ್ ಆಗಿಲ್ಲ, ನಮ್ಗೆ ಇನ್ಕಮ್ ಬಂದಿಲ್ಲ, ನಮಗ್ ಕೆಲಸ ಇಲ್ಲ, ನಮಗೆ ಕೋವಿಡ್ ಬಂದ್ಬಿಟ್ಟಿತ್ತು, ಅದಕ್ಕೆ ನಾವೇನು ಮಾಡೋಕ್ಕಾಗಿಲ್ಲ, ಎಲ್ಲಾ ತರ ರೀಸನ್ಸು ಇರುತ್ತೆ. ಬಟ್ ಆದಷ್ಟು ವಿ ನೀಡ್ ಟು ಪುಟ್ ಇನ್ಕ್ರೀಸ್ಡ್ ಅಮೌಂಟ್ ಆಫ್ ಎಫರ್ಟ್ಸ್. ಈಗ ಪ್ರತಿ ವರ್ಷ ನೀವು ಏನ್ ಎಫರ್ಟ್ ಹಾಕ್ತೀರಾ ಲೋನ್ ರಿಕವರಿಲಿ, ಈ ವರ್ಷ 3 times ಆ ಎಫರ್ಟ್ ಹಾಕ್ಬೇಕು, ಇಲ್ದೆ ಹೋದ್ರೆ ಕಷ್ಟ ಆಗತ್ತೆ ರಿಕವರಿ ಮಾಡೋದು ಅಂತ. ಹಲೋ ಹೇಳಿ ಸರ್.
ಸರ್, ಸಿದ್ಧಗಂಗಾ ಅರ್ಬನ್ ಕೋರ್ಟ್ ಬ್ಯಾಂಕ್ ತುಮಕೂರಿಂದ.
ಹೇಳಿ ಸರ್.
ಸರ್, ಈಗ ಮೊರಟೋರಿಯಂ ಈಗ ಅವ್ರಿಗೆ 6 months ಕೊಡ್ಬೇಕಾದ್ ಕಂಪಲ್ಸರಿನಾ ಇದೆಯಾ ಇಲ್ಲ ಆಪ್ಷನ್? ಅದು ಬ್ಯಾಂಕ್
ಆಪ್ಷನ್ ಅದು. ಬಟ್ ಅದೇನಾಗುತ್ತೆ ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಈಗ ಕಸ್ಟಮರ್ಸ್ ಡಿಮ್ಯಾಂಡ್ ಮಾಡ್ತಾರೆ ಮಾರಟೋರಿಯಂ ಬೇಕೇ ಬೇಕು ಅಂತ.
ಅದು ಇನ್ ರೇಟಿಂಗ್ ನಾಗ ಯಾರು ಕೊಟ್ಟಿಲ್ಲ ಸರ್ ಇದುವರೆಗೂ. ಬ್ಯಾಂಕಿಗೆ ಬಂದು ರೇಟಿಂಗ್ ನಾಗ ಕೊಟ್ಟಿಲ್ಲ. ಸುಮ್ನೆ ರಿಕವರಿಗೆ ಹೋದಾಗ ಹೇಳ್ತಾರೆ, ಅಲ್ಲ ರೀ ಗೌರ್ಮೆಂಟ್ ನವ್ರು ಮಾಡಿದಾರಲ್ರಿ, ನೀವು 6 ತಿಂಗಳು ಏನಕ್ಕೆ ಗೊತ್ತಿರ ನೀವು ಮನೆ ಹತ್ರ ಅಂತ.
ಕರೆಕ್ಟ್. ಅದಕ್ಕೆ ರಿಸರ್ವ್ ಬ್ಯಾಂಕ್ ಆಫ್ ಇಂಡಿಯಾ ಏನ್ ಹೇಳ್ತು ಅಂದ್ರೆ, ಬ್ಯಾಂಕ್ಸ್ ಎಲ್ಲ ಕನ್ಸೆಂಟ್ ಅಂತ ತಗೋಬೇಕು ಅಂತ ಹೇಳಿದ್ರು. ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಕಸ್ಟಮರ್ ಇಂದ ನನಗ್ ಮಾರಟೋರಿಯಂ ಬೇಕು ಅಂತ ನಾನು ಹೇಳ್ಬೇಕು. ಅದು ಹೇಳಕ್ಕೆ ನೀವು SMS ಪ್ರಕಾರನು ಹೇಳಿಸ್ಕೋಬಹುದು, ಅಥವಾ ನೀವ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಹೋದಾಗ ಒಂದ್ ಫಾರ್ಮ್ ಕೊಟ್ಟು ಅವ್ರ ಕೈಲಿ ಸೈನ್ ಮಾಡಿಸ್ಕೋಬಹುದು. ಏನಾರ ಒಂದ್ ಮಾಡಿ ಒಂದು ರೆಕಾರ್ಡ್ ಇರತ್ತೆ. ಈಗ ನಾನು ನಿಮ್ಮ ಹತ್ರ ಸಾಲ ತಗೊಂಡಿದ್ರೆ ನಾನು ಮಾರಟೋರಿಯಂಗೆ ಒಪ್ಕೊಂಡಿದೀನಿ ಅಂತ ನಿಮ್ಮ ಹತ್ರ ಒಂದು ಡಾಕ್ಯುಮೆಂಟ್ ಇರ್ಬೇಕು. ಸೊ ಅದಕ್ಕೆ ಏನಾರ ಒಂದು ವ್ಯವಸ್ಥೆ ಮಾಡ್ಬೇಕು. ನಾನು ಹೇಳಿದ್ನಲ್ಲ, ಒಂದು ಇಮೇಲೋ SMS ಅಥವಾ ಪರ್ಸನಲ್ ಆಗಿ ಹೋಗೋದು. ಒಂದಷ್ಟು ಬ್ಯಾಂಕ್ನವರು, ಈಗ ಪ್ರೈವೇಟ್ ಬ್ಯಾಂಕ್ಸ್ನವರು, HDFC ಬ್ಯಾಂಕ್ನವರೆಲ್ಲ ಅವ್ರ ವೆಬ್ಸೈಟ್ ಅಲ್ಲೇ ಹಾಕ್ಬಿಟ್ಟಿದ್ದಾರೆ, ನಿಮ್ಗೆ ಮಾರಟೋರಿಯಂ ಬೇಕು ಅಂತ ಹೇಳಿದ್ರೆ ಎಸ್ ಅಂತ ಒತ್ತಿ, ಬೇಡ ಅಂದ್ರೆ ನೋ ಅಂತ ಒತ್ತಿ ಅಂತ. ಆ ತರದ್ನು ಮಾಡ್ಬೋದು ನಿಮ್ ವೆಬ್ಸೈಟ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ. ಯಾವ ತರ ನಿಮ್ಗೆ ಸೂಕ್ತ ಅನ್ಸುತ್ತೋ ಆ ತರ ಮಾಡ್ಬೋದು. ಬಟ್ ಕನ್ಸೆಂಟ್ ಅಂತೂ ಬೇಕೇ ಬೇಕು ಅಂತ.
ಈಗ ಎಲ್ಲಾರು ಕೆಲವರು ಬ್ಯಾಂಕ್ಗಳು ಏನ್ ಹೇಳ್ತಾರೆ ಅಂದ್ರೆ, ನಾವು ಹೋಲ್ಸೇಲ್ ಆಗಿ ಎಲ್ಲಾರ್ಗೂ ಕೊಟ್ಬಿಟ್ಟಿದೀವಿ ಅಂತಾರೆ.
ಅದೇ ತಪ್ಪು ಮಾಡಿದ್ದು ಕೋಆಪರೇಟಿವ್ ಬ್ಯಾಂಕ್ಸ್. ಎಷ್ಟೊಂದ್ ಜನ ನಾವು ಮಾತಾಡ್ದಾಗ ಹೇಳಿದ್ರು, ಸರ್ ಎಲ್ರಿಗೂ ಮಾರಟೋರಿಯಂ ಕೊಟ್ಬೇಡ ಅಂತ. ಅದು ಎಷ್ಟು ಅದರಿಂದ ಎಷ್ಟು ಅನಾಹುತ ಆಗತ್ತೆ ಅಂತ ಬ್ಯಾಂಕ್ನವ್ರು ಗೊತ್ತಾಗ್ಲಿಲ್ಲ. ಎಲ್ರಿಗೂ ಕೊಟ್ಬಿಟ್ರೆ ನೀವೇ ಹೇಳ್ತಾ ಇದ್ರ, ನೀವೇನ್ ಬ್ಯಾಂಕ್ ಬರ್ಬೇಡಿ, ದುಡ್ಡು ಕಟ್ಬೇಡಿ ಅಂತ. ನೀವು ಬ್ಯಾಂಕರ್ ಆಗಿ ನೀವು ಅದನ್ನ ಹೇಳಿದ್ರೆ ಹೇಗೆ ಸೂಕ್ತ ಅದು? ಆದಷ್ಟು ಅದಕ್ಕೆ ಅದೇ ಅಲ್ಲ, ಸ್ಟ್ಯಾಂಡರ್ಡ್ ಅಕೌಂಟ್ಗೂ ಈಗ ಅದಕ್ಕೋಸ್ಕರ ಸ್ಟೇಟ್ ಬ್ಯಾಂಕ್ ಆಫ್ ಇಂಡಿಯಾನವರು ಎಲ್ಲಾರ್ಗು ಕರೆದು ನೀವು ಬಂದು ದುಡ್ಡು ಕಟ್ಟಿ ಮಾರಟೋರಿಯಂ ತಗೋಬೇಡಿ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳಿದ್ರು. ಎಲ್ಲಾ ಬ್ಯಾಂಕ್ನವರು ಅವ್ರ ಕಸ್ಟಮರ್ಸ್ಗೆ ಮಾರಟೋರಿಯಂ ತಗೋಬೇಡಿ, ತಗೊಳ್ಳೋದ್ರಿಂದ ನಿಮ್ಗೆ ಏನೇನು ಅನಾನುಕೂಲ ಆಗತ್ತೆ ಅಂತ ಎಲ್ಲ ಎಕ್ಸ್ಪ್ಲೇನ್ ಮಾಡಿ ಅವ್ರನ್ನ ಕನ್ವಿನ್ಸ್ ಮಾಡಿ ಮಾರಟೋರಿಯಂ ಕೊಟ್ಟಿಲ್ಲ.
ಬಟ್ ಈಗ ಮಾರಟೋರಿಯಂ ಮಾಡೋದಾದ್ರೆ 31st ಇದು ಆಗಸ್ಟ್ ಒಳಗೆ ಮಾಡ್ಬೇಕಲ್ವಾ ಸರ್?
ಹೌದು 31st ಆಗಸ್ಟ್ ಒಳಗಡೆ ಮಾಡ್ಬೇಕು. ಅದೇ ಇನ್ 2 ದಿವಸ ಇದೆ ಅದಕ್ಕೆ.
ಈಗ 6 ತಿಂಗಳು ಅವ್ರಿಗೆ ಎಕ್ಸ್ಟ್ರಾ ಕೊಡ್ಬೇಕಾಗುತ್ತಾ ಸರ್? ಈಗ ಪೆಂಡಿಂಗ್ ಕಂತು ಇರುತ್ತಲ್ಲ, ಎಕ್ಸ್ಟ್ರಾ 6 ತಿಂಗಳು ಕೊಡ್ಬೇಕಾಗುತ್ತಾ ಇಲ್ಲ ಉಳಿಕೆದಲ್ಲಿ ಅಡ್ಜಸ್ಟ್ ಮಾಡ್ಬೇಕಾಗುತ್ತಾ?
2 ತರ ಮಾಡ್ಬೋದು ಸರ್. ಅದು ಏನಾಗುತ್ತೆ ಅಂದ್ರೆ, ಒಂದಷ್ಟು ಕಸ್ಟಮರ್ಸ್ ಹೇಳ್ತಾರೆ, ನಾನು ಇವಾಗ ಕಟ್ತಾ ಇರೋ ಅದೇ ಕಂತೆ ಕಟ್ತೀನಿ, ನಾನು ಜಾಸ್ತಿ ದುಡ್ಡು ಕಟ್ಟಕ್ ಆಗಲ್ಲ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳ್ತಾರೆ. ಅವಾಗ ನೀವು 6 ತಿಂಗಳು ಎಕ್ಸ್ಟೆಂಡ್ ಮಾಡ್ಬೇಕಾಗೇ ಬರುತ್ತೆ, ಇನ್ನೇನು ಚಾಯ್ಸ್ ಇರಲ್ಲ. ಆದ್ರೆ ಒಂದಷ್ಟು ಜನ ಕಸ್ಟಮರ್ಸ್ ಹೇಳ್ತಾರೆ, ನಾನು 10 ರೂಪಾಯಿ ಕಟ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದೆ, ಇವಾಗ ನಾನು 12 ರೂಪಾಯಿ ಕಟ್ತೀನಿ ಅಂತ. ಅವಾಗ ನೀವು ಈ 6 ತಿಂಗಳು ಇಂಟ್ರೆಸ್ಟ್ ನ ಅದಕ್ಕೆ ಅಲೋಕೇಟ್ ಮಾಡಿ EMI ಜಾಸ್ತಿ ಆಗತ್ತೆ. ಆ ತರನು ಮಾಡ್ಬೋದು, 2 ತರ ಮಾಡ್ಬೋದು
ಸರ್. ಈಗ ಮೊರಟೋರಿಯಂ ಕೊಟ್ಟಿರೋರ್ಗೆ ರೆಸಲ್ಯೂಷನ್ ಫ್ರೇಮ್ ವರ್ಕ್ ತಗೋಬಹುದು ಅವ್ರನ್ನ?
ರೆಸಲ್ಯೂಷನ್ ಅಲ್ಲ, ಅವ್ರದ್ದು ಇವಾಗ ಆಗಸ್ಟ್ 31st ಅಂತ ಅವ್ರದ್ದು NPA ಅಂತ ಬರೋದೇ ಇಲ್ಲ. ಅದು
ಡಿಸೆಂಬರ್ ವರ್ಗ ಟೈಮ್ ಇರುತ್ತೆ ಅವ್ರಿಗೆ ಮಾಡೋದಕ್ಕೆ.
ನಾವ್ ಹೇಳಿದ್ವಿ ಡಿಸೆಂಬರ್ ತನಕ ರೀಸ್ಟ್ರಕ್ಚರಿಂಗ್ ಮಾಡ್ವಿ, ಯಾಕಂದ್ರೆ ಲಾಸ್ಟ್ ಕ್ವಾರ್ಟರ್ ತನಕ ತಳ್ಬೇಡಿ ರೀಸ್ಟ್ರಕ್ಚರಿಂಗ್.
ಸರ್ ಈಗ ರೀಸ್ಟ್ರಕ್ಚರಿಂಗ್ ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಹೊಸ ಲೋನ್ ಇಶ್ಯೂ ಮಾಡೋದಾ ಇರೋದನ್ನೇ ಮಾಡೋದು ಸರ್?
ಇರೋ ಲೋನ್ ಮಾಡೋದು ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಈಗ 3 ವರ್ಷದ ಲೋನ್ ಅದನ್ನ 5 ವರ್ಷ ಮಾಡೋದು, ಅವಾಗ ಇನ್ಸ್ಟಾಲ್ಮೆಂಟ್ಸ್ ಎಲ್ಲ ಕಮ್ಮಿ ಆಗತ್ತಲ್ಲ.
ನಮಸ್ಕಾರ ಗುರು ಸರ್.
ನಮಸ್ಕಾರ ಸರ್.
ಒಳ್ಳೆ ಇನ್ಫಾರ್ಮೇಶನ್ ನೀಡಿದ್ರೆ ಇಲ್ಲಿವರೆಗೂ ತುಂಬಾ ಉಪಯುಕ್ತವಾದ ಮಾಹಿತಿ ನೀಡಿದ್ರೆ. ಈಗಾಗಲೇ ಮಾರಾಟೋರಿಯಂ ಬಗ್ಗೆ ಎಲ್ಲರಿಗೂ ಅವೇರ್ನೆಸ್ ಬಂದಿದೆ. ಸೊ ಈಗ ನೀವ್ ಹೇಳ್ದಾಗೆ ಕಾನ್ಸೆಪ್ಟ್ ಲೆಟರ್ ತಗೊಂಡು ನಾವು ಈಗಾಗಲೇ ಅದನ್ನ ಪ್ರೊಸೆಸ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಮಾಡಿ ನಿಮ್ಗೆ ಆಲ್ರೆಡಿ ಕಳಿಸಿದೀವಿ, ನಿಮ್ ಇಂಜಿನಿಯರ್ ಮಾಡ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದಾರೆ. ದೆನ್ ಈಗ ನಮ್ಗೆ ದೊಡ್ಡ ದೊಡ್ಡ ಪ್ರಾಪರ್ಟಿ ಲೋನ್ಗಳು ಏನಿದಾವೆ ಅಬೋ 5 lakh ಈ ತರನಾಗಿ ಅವನ್ನೆಲ್ಲ ರೀಸ್ಟ್ರಕ್ಚರ್ ಮಾಡಕ್ಕೆ ಅವ್ರನ್ನ ಕಾನ್ಸೆಂಟ್ ಲೆಟರ್ ಕಲೆಕ್ಟ್ ಮಾಡ್ಕೊಳ್ತಾ ಇದೀವಿ. ಸೊ ಆಲ್ಮೋಸ್ಟ್ ಮೈ ನಾಲೆಜ್ ಒಂದು ನಾರ್ಮಲ್ ಪೊಸಿಷನ್ ಬರ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದೀವಿ ಅಂತ ಅನಿಸ್ತಿದೆ.
ಆಕ್ಚುಲಿ ನಮ್ಮ ಉದ್ದೇಶ ನೀವೆಲ್ಲರೂ ನಾರ್ಮಲ್ ಪೊಸಿಷನ್ ಬರ್ಲಿ ಅಂತಾನೆ. ಯಾಕೆಂದ್ರೆ ಮಾರ್ಚ್ ಅಷ್ಟೊತ್ತಿಗೆ ಇದನ್ನ ಡಿಸ್ಕಸ್ ಮಾಡಿದ್ರೆ ಉಪಯೋಗ ಆಗಲ್ಲ ಅಂತ.
ವಿತ್ ಯುವರ್ ಸಪೋರ್ಟ್ ಇವರ ಇದರಿಂದ ನಾವು ಅದು ಮಾರಾಟೋರಿಯಂ ಆಗ್ಲಿ ರೀಸ್ಟ್ರಕ್ಚರ್ ಮಾಡಕ್ಕೆ ತುಂಬಾ ಇದು ಮಾಡ್ತಾ ಇದೀವಿ. ನಿಮ್ಮ ಸಪೋರ್ಟ್ ಇತ್ತಂತಂದ್ರೆ ಡೆಫಿನೆಟ್ ಆಗಿ ನಾವು ನಾರ್ಮಲ್ ಪೊಸಿಷನ್ಗೆ.
ಅಬ್ಸಲ್ಯೂಟ್ಲಿ. ತುಂಬಾ ಥ್ಯಾಂಕ್ಸ್ ಸರ್. ಎಲ್ಲರೂ ತಮ್ಮ ಟೈಮ್ ನ ನಮ್ ಜೊತೆ ಕಳೆದಿದ್ದಕ್ಕೆ ಆನ್ ಬಿಹಾಫ್ ಆಫ್ ಪ್ರೋಸೆಸ್ ವೇರ್ ಐ ಥ್ಯಾಂಕ್ ಯು ಆಲ್.
ಒಂದ್ ಸೆಕೆಂಡ್ ಸರ್, ಒಂದೇ ಒಂದ್ ಸೆಕೆಂಡ್
ಹೇಳಿ ಸರ್. ಹೇಳಿ ಸರ್.
ಈಗ ಮೊರಾಟೋರಿಯಂ ಕೊಡದಿದ್ರೆ ಬ್ಯಾಂಕಿಗೆ ಏನ್ ಪ್ರಾಬ್ಲಮ್ ಆಗುತ್ತೆ?
ಮಾರಾಟೋರಿಯಂ ಕೊಡದಿದ್ರೆ ಆ ಲೋನ್ಗಳು ಇವಾಗ NPA ಆಗ್ಬಿಡತ್ತಲ್ಲ
ಅಷ್ಟೇ. ಅಷ್ಟೇ. ಬಟ್ ನೆಕ್ಸ್ಟ್ ಈಗ ಈ ಮಾರ್ಚ್ ಅಂತ ಮುಗಿದೋಗಿದೆ, ನಾವು ನೆಕ್ಸ್ಟ್ ಮಾರ್ಚ್ ಒಳಗಾಗಿ ರಿಕವರಿ ಮಾಡ್ಬೋದು ಅಂತ ತೊಂದ್ರೆ ಏನಿಲ್ಲ.
ಅದು ಮಾಡ್ಬೋದು, ನೆಕ್ಸ್ಟ್ ಮಾರ್ಚ್ ಒಳಗಡೆ ರಿಕವರಿ ಮಾಡ್ಬೋದು.
ಹಾ ಸರ್. ತುಂಬಾ ಥ್ಯಾಂಕ್ಸ್ ಸರ್. ತುಂಬಾ
ಥ್ಯಾಂಕ್ ಯು ವೆರಿ ಮಚ್. ಥ್ಯಾಂಕ್ ಯು.
ಹಲೋ ಸರ್.
ಹೇಳಿ ಸರ್. ಹೇಳಿ ಸರ್.
ಸರ್ ಈಗ ನ್ಯಾಯಾಲಯದವರು ಬಡ್ಡಿ ಕೂಡ ನೀವು ಬಿಡ್ಬೇಕಂತ ಹೇಳಿ ಸೆಂಟ್ರಲ್ ಗವರ್ಮೆಂಟ್ ಹೇಳ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದಾರೆ.
ಅದು ಇನ್ನು ಕೋರ್ಟ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಇದೆ ಸರ್, ಅದು ಸಬ್ಜುಡಿಸ್. ಈಗ
ಕೊಟ್ಟಿರ್ಬೇಕಂತೆ.
ಕೋರ್ಟ್ ಇನ್ನು ಜಡ್ಜ್ಮೆಂಟ್ ಕೊಟ್ಟಿಲ್ಲ.
ಮೆಸೇಜ್ ಆದ್ರೂ ಮಾಡಿ, ಮೆಸೇಜ್ ಕಡೆಯಿಂದ ತಗೊಂಡಿರ್ಬೇಕಂತೆ. ಏನಾದ್ರು ಅವ್ನು ಕೇಳಿರ್ಬೇಕಂತ. ಏನ್ ಪ್ರಾಬ್ಲಮ್ ಅಂತ ಏನು ಪ್ರಾಬ್ಲಮ್ ಇಲ್ಲ, ರಿಕವರಿ ಮಾಡಿ.
ಥ್ಯಾಂಕ್ ಯು ಆಲ್. ಥ್ಯಾಂಕ್ಸ್
ಸರ್. ಅದು ಹೇಳಿಲ್ಲ ಮುಂದೆ ನೀವು
ಏನ್ ಹೇಳಿ ಸರ್. ಅದು ಸುಪ್ರೀಂ ಕೋರ್ಟ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಇದೆ ಸರ್. ಅದು ಸಬ್ಜುಡಿಸ್. ಈಗ ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಅದು ಅಗ್ರಿಮೆಂಟ್ ಬರೋ ಅವ್ರದ್ದೇನ್ ಡಿಸಿಷನ್ ಬರೋ ತನಕ ನಾವೇನು ಹೇಳಕ್ಕಾಗಲ್ಲ. ಬ್ಯಾಂಕರ್ಸ್ ಆರ್ ಟೆಲಿಂಗ್ ದಟ್ ದೇ ಕೆನಾಟ್ ಫೋರ್ಗೋ ದ ಇಂಟ್ರೆಸ್ಟ್ ಪಾರ್ಟ್, ಬಟ್ ಕೋರ್ಟ್ ಈಸ್ ಪ್ರೆಷರೈಸಿಂಗ್ ಸೆಂಟ್ರಲ್ ಗವರ್ಮೆಂಟ್. ಏನಾಗತ್ತೆ ಗೊತ್ತಿಲ್ಲ ಸರ್.
ಕಷ್ಟ ಅಲ್ವಾ ಇದು?
ಏನಂದ್ರೆ
ಒಂದ್ ವೇಳೆ ವಹಿವಾರ ಆಗ್ಲೇಬೇಕಂತೇಳಿ ಅವರು ಕೋರ್ಟ್ ಆರ್ಡರ್ ಮಾಡಿದ್ರೆ
ಇಲ್ಲ, ಅದು ಆರ್ಡರ್ ಮಾಡೋದು ಕಷ್ಟ ಆಗತ್ತೆ ಸರ್. ಯಾಕೆಂದ್ರೆ ಈಗ ನಿಮ್ಮ ಬ್ಯಾಂಕ್ ಅಲ್ಲೇನೆ ಇಂಟ್ರೆಸ್ಟ್ ವೇವರ್ ಮಾಡಿದ್ರೆ ಇಷ್ಟು ದಿವಸ ಇಂಟ್ರೆಸ್ಟ್ ಎಲ್ಲ ಅಕ್ಯುಮುಲೇಟ್ ಆಗಿರೋದು ಯಾರು ಕೊಡ್ತಾರೆ ನಿಮ್ಗೆ ಅಷ್ಟು ದುಡ್ಡನ್ನ? ಸೊ ಅದರಿಂದ ಇಂಟ್ರೆಸ್ಟ್ ವೇವ್ ಮಾಡೋದು ಚಾನ್ಸಸ್ ತುಂಬಾ ಕಮ್ಮಿ ಇದೆ.
ಸರ್
ಹೇಳಿ ಸರ್.
ಹಲೋ ಸರ್.
ಹೇಳಿ ಸರ್.
ಈಗಾಗಲೇ ನಾವು ಡಿಸಿಪ್ಲಿನರಿ ಅಪ್ರೋಚ್ ಮಾಡ್ತಾ ಇದೀವಿ ರಿಕವರಿ ಮಾಡ್ಲಿಕ್ಕೆ.
ವೆರಿ ಗುಡ್.
ನಮ್ಮ ಎಕ್ಸಿಸ್ಟಿಂಗ್ ಬಾರೋಯರ್ಸ್ ಹತ್ರ ನಮ್ಗೂ ಲಾಸ್ಟ್ ಮಂತಿಗೂ, ಜೂನ್ ಮಂತಿಗೂ, ಜುಲೈ ಮಂತಿಗೂ ಸ್ವಲ್ಪ ಇಂಪ್ರೂವ್ಮೆಂಟ್ಸ್ ಇದೆ ರಿಕವರಿ.
ವೆರಿ ಗುಡ್ ಸರ್. ವೆರಿ ಗುಡ್.
ಹಲೋ
ಹೇಳಿ ಸರ್.
ರಿಕವರಿ ಇಂಪ್ರೂವ್ಮೆಂಟ್ ಇದೆ. ಈಗ ಆಗಸ್ಟ್ ತಿಂಗಳಲ್ಲಿ ಇನ್ನೂ ಸ್ವಲ್ಪ ಚೆನ್ನಾಗಿ ಆಗ್ತಾ ಇದೆ.
ಅದೇ ಆತರ
ಏನಿಲ್ಲ. ಈಗ ನೀವು ನೆಕ್ಸ್ಟ್ 6 months ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಮ್ಯಾಕ್ಸಿಮಮ್ ರಿಕವರಿ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದೀವಿ. NPA ಕಾನ್ಸೆಪ್ಟ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ನೀವು ಹೆಂಗೆ ಡಿಸಿಷನ್ ತಗಂತೀವಿ ಅಂತ ಬೇಕು.
ಅಲ್ಲ, ಅದು ಏನಾಗತ್ತೆ ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಈಗ ಯಾರ್ಯಾರು ಮಾರಟೋರಿಯಂ ತಗೊಂಡಿರ್ತಾರೋ ಆ ಮಾರಟೋರಿಯಂ ಪೀರಿಯಡ್ 31st ಆಗಸ್ಟ್ ಗೆ ಆಗೋಗತ್ತಲ್ಲ. ಸೊ
ಸರ್ ಈಗ ಹಲೋ
ಹೇಳಿ ಸರ್.
ಸರ್ ಈಗ ನಾವು ಅಂಡರ್ ಸರ್ಫೇಸಿ ಆಕ್ಟ್ ಎಲ್ಲಾನು ರಿಕವರಿ ಪ್ರೋಸೆಸ್ ಮಾಡೋದಕ್ಕೆ ಏನ್ ಪ್ರಾಬ್ಲಮ್ ಇಲ್ಲ ಸರ್? ಈಗ
ಅದಕ್ಕೇನು ಪ್ರಾಬ್ಲಮ್ ಇಲ್ಲ ಸರ್. August 31st ಆದ್ಮೇಲೆ ಅದಕ್ಕೇನು ಪ್ರಾಬ್ಲಮ್ ಬರಲ್ಲ.
ಹಾ ಸರ್, ಥ್ಯಾಂಕ್ ಯು ಸರ್.
ಓಕೆ. ಸೊ ಅದರಿಂದ ಏನಾಗುತ್ತೆ ಅಂದ್ರೆ, ಈ ಮಾರಟೋರಿಯಂ ಕೊಟ್ಟಿರ್ತಿರಲ್ಲ ಅಕೌಂಟ್ಸ್, ಆ ಅಕೌಂಟ್ಸ್ ನ ಕ್ಲೋಸ್ ಆಗಿ ನೀವು ಮಾನಿಟರ್ ಮಾಡ್ಬೇಕಾಗುತ್ತೆ ಫಾರ್ ರಿಕವರಿ.
ಸರ್ NPA ನಾರ್ಮ್ಸ್ ಒಳಗೆ NPA ಜಾಸ್ತಿ ಬಂದ್ರೆ ನೀವು ಮತ್ತೆ ಅದಕ್ಕೇನ ಆಕ್ಷನ್ ತಗೊಳ್ತೀರಾ ಏನು ಈ ಪೀರಿಯಡ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ?
ಅಲ್ಲ NPA ಜಾಸ್ತಿ ಬರ್ದಂಗ್ ನೀವು ನೋಡ್ಕೋಬೇಕು. ಯಾಕಂದ್ರೆ NPA ಜಾಸ್ತಿ ಬಂದ್ಮೇಲೆ RBI ಏನು
ಎಫರ್ಟ್ ಆಗ್ತಾ ಇದೀವಿ, ಇಲ್ಲ ಅಂತಲ್ಲ.
ಅಲ್ಲ ನಾನೊಂದು ಸಜೆಷನ್ ಕೊಡೋದೇನಂದ್ರೆ, ನೀವೆಲ್ಲರೂ ಸೇರ್ಕೊಂಡು, ಕೋಆಪರೇಟಿವ್ ಬ್ಯಾಂಕ್ಸ್ ಎಲ್ಲರೂ ಸೇರ್ಕೊಂಡು ನೀವು ರಿಸರ್ವ್ ಬ್ಯಾಂಕ್ ಕೇಳ್ಕೋಬಹುದು ಈ ತರ ಸ್ವಲ್ಪ ರಿಲ್ಯಾಕ್ಸೇಷನ್ ಕೊಡಿ ಈ ವರ್ಷಕ್ಕೆ ಅಂತ.
ಓಕೆ ಸರ್, ಓಕೆ.
Thank you very much sir. Thank you for all.
Thank you sir. One last question sir.
ಹೇಳಿ ಸರ್.
Hello.
ಹೇಳಿ ಸರ್.
Sir, in rescheduling of accounts, we are giving only 6 month period for extension. For the interest will accumulate for the rest of the period. The EMH will be increased now.
Yeah,
to avoid this, they can go for the extension of the period itself. No?
Correct. There are two options.
2 or 3 months.
One is to increase the EMI amount. The second one is to increase the term of the loan.
Term of the loan. We can do that, no?
Absolutely.
Okay, I'll send a request from bank.
Okay.
Thank you, sir.
Okay, thank you very much. Thanks.
Thank you, sir.
Thanks.
ಕ್ಲೋಸ್ ಮಾಡಿ.